Hi, my name is Cora Hannigan, and this is my presentation on who I perceive to be a modern-day hero. Civil War monuments, like the statue of Robert E. Lee to the left, have been used to commemorate people who were considered heroes. However, Confederate statues in particular represent our nation's deep-rooted history of white supremacy and should no longer be looked at as heroes. George Floyd, pictured on the bottom left, has become a new symbol for our nation. He represents the respect and safety that people of color in America deserve. I make my piece to honor George Floyd and his legacy. While he did not sacrifice his life for justice, as Nancy Pelosi would say, the murder of Floyd has truly changed the world, making America rightfully reevaluate how we treat people of color. I had most of the materials I needed already at home because my mom does extensive amounts of artwork, but the materials I used were modeling clay, acrylic paint, paintbrushes, makeshift modeling tools like a kitchen knife and chopsticks, toothpicks, gesso, and finishing glass. I began my process by cutting and kneading the clay until it was soft enough to mold. I formed the body from just below the belt up, in between a full body monument and a bust. I then hollowed out the inside of the body so that the clay would dry faster and the piece wouldn't be as heavy. Finding that sculpting wasn't my forte, I decided to go for a more abstract look because I knew I wouldn't be able to get in the exact features to make my sculpture look like Floyd. Using a kitchen knife, I outlined the features of his clothing to give a little bit of an abstract detail. I then began sculpting the head, which took me nearly 8 tries as I struggled greatly with proportion. Smaller features like the nose, mouth, and ears were tricky to adhere, but scoring the clay and using water as an adhesive helped them stick. The head was a lot heavier than the body, so I had to attach the head to the neck using toothpicks as extra reinforcement, as seen in the picture at the bottom right. I carved the words "I can't breathe" into the chest, not only as a gesture to Floyd, but to the Black Lives Matter movement that has been sweeping the nation the past year. I then baked the mold in the oven for 15 minutes per 1/4 inch of thickness, which was about 45 to 50 minutes total. I used acrylics to paint the statue after it was completely dry. I wanted the paint to be slightly messy to go along with the abstract sculpting techniques I was using. After the acrylic air dried, I covered the piece with 3 layers of gesso to make sure that it was strong. This is my completed piece, and I'm actually quite proud of my work. I have never sculpted before, but I do paint fairly extensively. The murder of George Floyd and the Derek Chauvin trial are historic, and hopefully will incite change for future generations.